Good morning. Today I'm going to paint from a photograph. I don't usually, because a lot of times if I paint from a photograph, really all I'm doing is being a copyist or a drafts person. And I try to make the picture look an awful lot like a photograph. It's better if I took the photograph, because at least I was there in the beginning and can kind of remember what my feelings were when I took that picture. And the photograph that I'm going to work with today is a photograph of the moon and over the backyard here. And I'll show you the 3 photographs I have. Now, this was the original photograph I took. Now, I took it out and I printed it because at least, I don't know, it's bigger, it's easier to see. But I didn't feel like it was so orange out. So the next thing I did was crop the picture, and I took a little bit of the redness out. Now, what you can't see in either of these pictures, well, a little bit, you can see these fir trees here. This tree I hate, but we have street lights, and so that happened. My final thing that I did with it was I lightened it up so that, like, I can see the trees. There's the that tree I don't like, but I might put a little bit of that in. But the thing that's really wonderful, and the thing that really made it special when I took the picture, was there was this moth that was flying around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint from sort of a combination of these 2 pictures. You know, it'll be dark and there'll still be the moth and the moon. But anyway, let's get started. Okay, here goes. We're painting today this moon. Probably go right about there. Some trees and that moth. And then we have we can put in these marvelous colors of blue and really dark colors. I mean, this is probably more realistic about what it looked like, but man, is that like so dark you can't believe it. But okay, we'll get started. And actually, I'm going to put in those trees first, because they are really the darkest of the darks. And with my acrylic paint, I always start with the darks because it's really hard. And you'll see, because there's some white on my thing here, it's hard to get these dark, really, really dark colors over something that's really light. So I'm mixing some, let me see, maybe I should move you slightly. I'm mixing some turquoise and red to be able to get the color of those trees, because that will turn absolutely black. Maybe I was supposed to go the other way. Oh, I was. Okay. It'll make really sort of a black color for these trees down here. You can see that it's not easy to cover that. Actually, these conifers are not native to this area. They planted them. I'm painting here in Italy. Not native to here, and they've had a lot of trouble lately. It's gotten so hot that they're not holding up as well as they might. With this kind of background, I don't worry too much about covering all the spaces. And, you know, who's going to know if I got this right or not, huh? You will. But, anyway. Probably should make those a little smaller, but we'll go with what we can. have. I can always cut them back. And I may move them down and cut them back. But anyhow. There seems like there's two different kinds of conifers here. This one seems more like an old Christmas tree. But anyway, there we go. Now, I'm going to add some more turquoise because I'm running out. A little more red. But I really think this kind of layer of color, I'm going to put the place where I think the moon should go. And I think it should go right about here. And I guess I'm going to put a little yellow there for the background of the moon. I'm not going to keep it yellow, but I want to know not to put too much of the dark color on there. Okay. There, that's where that's going to go. And I'm also thinking that maybe I'm going to cut this back a bit, but we'll see, Okay. Okay, now I'm going to put in this really very dark purpley blue. Let me put a little white with that. Oh, that's nice. See, actually in this one, you can see some difference in color. Let's not go too far, but let's go farther than that. You know, I have two really big inspirations in this. Some of the Japanese woodblock prints that are done of night scenes are really wonderful. No one did this kind of background color better, though, than Maxfield Parrish. Really, he built up layer after layer, and it was such a profound... oh no, I wasn't going that way. Try that. Sometimes I think there's kind of a universal influence here. When I make a mistake, I try to go with it. Anyway, we'll just keep on. It does get a little bit lighter up around where this moon is. I probably should have gotten up and gone out early this morning. It was 4:30 when I took the picture, but there's something hard about going out to paint at 4:30 in the morning. It's cold. It's the cold that gives the sky that blueness, I think. I'm going to whip this back a little. I got a little too much of that. What's great about acrylic paint is that you can change your mind. You just paint over it in a few minutes. You know, of course, oil paint is really nice, but not always. Especially as a plein air painter, I stopped using so much oil paint because it was so hard to transport, and you wanted to be able to finish your painting in one sitting. This is hard as rock. I have a million brushes, it seems like. I enjoy having a lot of brushes because I like to use a new brush instead of cleaning my brush in the middle of a painting. Now you can see there's like really 3 distinct layers. Well, maybe even more around this moon. Well, we'll give it a try. so nice. Can you see the craters? Or the man and the moon. I'm just mixing some gray colors. Oh, it's a nice little moon. I want to think it has yellow in it. I could try it. Let me see. Just a little. Well, that looks good to me. Then I'm going to keep going. It's kind of a charming moon, do you think? I think I should probably be a little bit rounder. I'll try to do that. I think this was the full moon day, but I'm not sure. Okay. And then I might put a couple little stars, just really small. And like, who's gonna ever notice that? I mean, maybe it's not gonna be the kind of painting anybody keeps. But you know, I'm gonna, down here, I'm putting in my moth. It was like such a nice thing. The reason that I wanted to paint was just for the moth. I mean, do you think about him being out there at 4:37 in the morning or whenever it was? I looked at the clock. Can you tell that's a moth? I think you probably can. I'm going to give a little tiny bit more white on the side. Maybe that was too much. I just turn the brush over and kind of mush it. Oh, nuts. And you know what the best thing about painting with, I'm going to use a dry brush here to move that a little bit over, get some of it off. There we go. If you decide you don't really like it and it's on paper, you can just wrap a fish in it. And the fish will be so honored. All right, now I'm going to put in a little bit of a dark, I'm mixing yellow and purple. That didn't really come out the way I thought. Okay, I'm mixing yellow and purple with a little bit of turquoise, and I'm going to put this deciduous tree down here. I think it needs it. Maybe a little white in that, you know, as if like the moon was illuminating it. I mean, it could, I suppose. Oh yeah, there you go. But it just grounds things a little bit too. And I'm gonna put a little bit more down here, not too much, just so you don't seem like we're floating around in midair. Going back to the purple and turquoise. Oh no, I didn't do purple and turquoise. I did turquoise and red. Okay, there. That's the ticket. Because it's darker. That's not so good, but it's all right. A little more turquoise, a little more red. Okay, I put so much red on there. But I'm going to show you what I do with this when I'm done. What do you think? Do you think I'm done? I don't know if you can see it enough, but I think it's sort of pretty. In a way, it'd be nice if I made it more swirly, but I think it's okay. What do you think?